Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in this video, we'll be discussing the Moon Mahadasha Bhuktis. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So starting off, what is a Bhukti period? If you go back to my original video on the Moon Mahadasha, this will give you a general overview of this entire period of your life, but within that there are individual sections where there is also a subplanet that takes hold of your life as well. And these are known as Antardashas. So these are these sub-periods or Bhukti periods that we will be talking about today. Now the Moon Mahadasha is a very auspicious Mahadasha because the moon is the mother. It is all about our relationship with our mother. It is all about what gives us nourishment, comfort, stability. It is the force that brings us into this physical incarnation. And the moon also has to do with the mind. So it has to do with our imagination, our psychic abilities, our emotions, our thoughts. It is everything that is within us that is manifested out into the physical. So this is a very fertile, very abundant energy that generally gives us a sense of happiness, of peace, of fulfillment. And so the Moon Mahadasha is all about receiving this joy, this happiness, this sense of nourishment. So starting off with the Moon Mahadasha, we have a Moon-Moon period, which is a 10-month period. And Moon-Moon is a major transitional period because we are shifting from the previous Mahadasha, which was a Sun Mahadasha, into the Moon. And the Sun is very independent. The Sun doesn't need to revolve around anything, so it is all about our individuality, our sense of purpose, our soul purpose, where the Moon becomes more about this connection, this emotional attachment and nourishment. And so there's a huge shift that is happening as you come into the Moon-Moon period. At the same time, though, this effect of the moon is going to be very strong. And of course, you want to see where is the moon placed within your natal chart. Is the moon in conjunction with any planets? Is it being aspected by any planets? And is the moon in a waxing or waning phase at the moment that you were born? This will all tell you how strong of an influence or how positive of an influence the moon will be in your life. If the moon is waxing or if it is full in your chart when you were born, then this is going to give you stronger effects of the moon. In Vedic astrology, we also have something called the moon chart, where you can make the moon an alternative lagna and look at all of your houses from the moon's position. So this is very important to see when you're coming into this Moon Mahadasha. Along with this, you want to see the moon's placement within your D9 Navamsa chart. So all of these factors should be considered when analyzing this prediction for the Moon Mahadasha. But in general, this is going to be a time where all of your desires are going to manifest. Again, the moon is all about manifestation. It is about taking what is in your subconscious, what is in your mind, and projecting it out into reality in the same way that the moon is reflecting the light of the sun. So this is all about this projection into the material. So this is definitely going to be a very abundant time where there are new opportunities, new relationships, new people coming into your life. All of the things that you have wanted to manifest can come to life during this Moon-Moon period. Moon-Moon also can heighten your sense of attraction. So you can become very romantic at this time and can attract romantic interests as well. This can be a huge time where you have a great relationship with your mother, with your home, where there is a sense of happiness, of peace, of fulfillment once again. So this is a very satisfactory time where you get that nourishment, you get that fulfillment that you've been seeking. For some of you, this can also be a very spiritual period. As I've said, the moon is related to the imagination and psychic abilities. So moon also can open up your mind to new spiritual insights coming into this Moon-Moon period. Following this is Moon-Mars, which is a 7-month period. And this is an interesting period because Moon and Mars are not necessarily enemies to one another. So this can help you, for many of you, where this can help to increase your energy, your determination. The Moon is about your senses. It is about your sense of passion and desire. But Mars is how you put your passion, your energy into action. So this can help you by giving you the motivation to move forward in your career, in all of your endeavors. This is a very ambitious period coming into Moon-Mars. There also can be situations related to the home because the Moon is connected to the home and Mars is all about property. So this can be a time where you are getting good deals as far as properties, where you're changing location or making significant changes to your home environment. On the negative side, you do want to be careful of impulsive actions because Mars is a very impulsive planet and Moon is very sensitive. So there's a lot of emotion, a lot of passion that is here with this Moon-Mars. So you want to be careful about making reckless decisions, about making misjudgments. Mars can be very quick and Moon is all about the mind. So make sure that you're taking your time to look over all of the details or getting some help, some assistance from others to also check over the details so that you are getting a clear picture of everything. This is definitely not a time to jump into impulsive decisions. Sometimes if Moon and Mars are placed in difficult positions, this also can give you some difficulties around your property or home environment. Once again, Moon and Mars are both related to the home. So if these are placed difficultly in your chart, you can have some situations where you're unable to move or where there are repairs, all sorts of situations that need to be sorted out within the home environment. You can have disputes, arguments, disagreements with people close to you during this time, as Mars is a very fiery planet. So on the negative side, showing that ego, showing that anger. And so this can be challenging if you have this placed in a difficult position within your natal chart. Following this is a Moon-Rahu period, which is 1 year and 6 months. And this is very difficult because remember from the story of the churning of the ocean of milk that the sun and the moon were the ones who exposed Rahu for being an imposter. So Rahu and Moon are not friends with one another. So during this time, this can create a lot of illusions within the mind. Moon is the mind and Rahu creates illusion. So this is definitely a time where you want to be careful about all of your decision making, where you want to make sure you're looking over all of the fine print, not jumping into any sort of conclusions. Moon Rahu can also create a lot of fears. Rahu is all about the irrational fears. It is all about the things that invade the mind. So this can be a time of restlessness, of insomnia, of all sorts of anxieties coming up. This can be very destabilizing for some of you. So this is definitely a time to practice meditation, to practice those relaxation techniques, to go inward, to detach yourself, to take that time to yourself to clear your mind, as there can be a lot that is going on within the mind at this time. Moon Rahu can also give difficulties around your mother, with your relationship to your mother, with the health of your mother sometimes. This can also negatively impact your health as well. Again, with all of the chaos and confusion that is occurring within the mind. You want to be very careful about being cheated, being manipulated at this time. Again, using clear judgment is very important. Taking that time to clear the mind, to get a clear look at everything is very important. Following this is a Moon-Jupiter period, which is a 1 year period. And this is definitely a positive time as both Jupiter and the Moon are benefics. And especially if you have the Moon in a waxing phase, it's going to make it even more benefic during this phase. So this can definitely be a time where you see some increase because Jupiter is very expansive. So in all the areas of your desires, all the things that you're trying to manifest, this can expand this for you. This can be a time of increase in your income, of new job opportunities, of new friends, new people coming into your life, giving you different opportunities where you're getting the support that you need. This can be very social, a time of enjoyment, a time of relaxation. This can be excellent also also for your education along with your spirituality. Jupiter is all about higher knowledge. So this gives you excellent spiritual insight because once again, the moon is all about the imagination and psychic abilities, and Jupiter is about broadening your horizon, seeing from this philosophical perspective. So this is excellent for mysticism, for spirituality at this time. This can also be a great time for travel. The moon is a quick moving planet and Jupiter is all about travel. So many of you will be on the go during this Moon-Jupiter Dasha. Following this is Moon-Saturn, which is 1 year and 7 months. And this tends to be a very heavy period, as Moon and Saturn are not friends with one another. Remember that Moon and Saturn are always across from one another. Capricorn and Cancer are opposite signs. So there is some difficulty that's happening between Saturn and Moon. And this can make you very serious. This can definitely bring up some major decisions or choices that need to be made within your life. This can also increase your stress, especially if you have Moon and Saturn placed in difficult positions. But regardless, this can increase your stress levels. So you want to make sure that you are going for meditation, that you are taking necessary breaks, that you're focusing on your health at this time. This becomes very important. This can definitely cause some issues around digestion because Moon is related to the stomach. So a lot of stress issues causing digestive problems can show up during this Moon-Saturn period. This can also be a time where you're closing off from others, where you're becoming more isolated, more introverted, having difficulty with expressing yourself. So you want to be careful about this, especially if Moon and Saturn are placed in difficult positions. This can give you feelings of isolation, of loneliness, of having a difficult time with relating to other people. Following this is a 1 year period of Moon-Mercury, and this can be a great period for you because Moon and Mercury are both having to do with the mind. The Moon is all about the mind and Mercury is about the rational mind. So this is excellent for your studies at this time. You can do very well in education. This also is great for business. Mercury is the karaka for business. So this can give you great business ideas. This can increase your income. This can give you new job opportunities. This can be excellent for any skills related to Mercury, communication, writing, media. If you are involved in careers that have to do with this, this is excellent at this time. You can also attract a lot of helpful people in your life as well. Mercury is about communication and Moon is about how we relate to the world. So especially if you have Moon-Mercury placed well in your chart, this can attract people into your life who can give you the proper guidance, resources, opportunities to help you to move forward. This is a time where you definitely can feel inspired to work towards your goals, to move in the direction that is right for you. On the negative side, you do want to be careful because Mercury is a trickster and the Moon is quick moving. So there can be deception, there can be all sorts of situations where you're not seeing the situation clearly. So this is definitely a time where you want to look over the fine print, where you want to make sure that you are getting the right advice and being cautious about who you are trusting. Following this is Moon-Ketu, which is a 7-month period. And this can be difficult because, again, Moon and Sun were the ones who ratted out Rahu. And Ketu is the other half of Rahu. So this can definitely be a time where there are difficulties with decision making, with clarity. This can be a time of fear, of anxiety, of all sorts of restlessness, of difficulty with finding the correct path or the correct direction in life. So this is definitely a time that is best for meditation, for spirituality, for retreating inward, for taking that time for yourself to slow down. This can be a time where there's a lot of travel or movement that is happening as well. Following this is a Moon-Venus period, which is a 1 year period. And this can be good because both of these are benefics. So this can help you with increasing your wealth, with your happiness in general, your relationships. This is a great time for connecting with family members, with friends, with close ones. This is definitely a time that will feel more emotional, more so about connection and being close to people. And this is a time where there can be a lot of happiness within the family, within the home environment. This can help you to resolve any sort of conflicts or issues that you had previously within relationships and to find diplomacy, to find balance, to find harmony at this time. Both Moon and Venus are all about this sense of harmony. So this is an excellent time for your overall happiness and enjoyment. On the negative side, especially if you have Moon and Venus in difficult positions within your natal chart, this can be a time of laziness. It can be a time of missing out on valuable opportunities, on overindulgence, wasting your time. There can be a lot of laziness and lack of motivation, as both of these planets are about enjoyment. So this is definitely a time where you want to stay on task, where you want to stay active. This is a great time for exercise, a great time to engage yourself in activities and connecting in with groups that can help you to stay active and focused. Following this is a Moon-Sun period, which is going to be the last period of this Moon Mahadasha. So this is getting you ready to transition over into your Mars Mahadasha. The moon is all about connection. It is all about this closeness, this familiar connection with those around you, where the sun is about your individual focus. So there's a shift that is happening between your individuality and your connection with your relationships. And this is going to take you into Mars, which, like the sun, is very independent, is very much about your purpose. Mars is what is helping to direct the energy of the sun into your physical actions. And so during this Moon-Sun period, this can make you very ambitious, very hardworking, very determined, very focused on your goals at this time. This can increase your confidence, increase your capabilities to strive forward. You can get new opportunities, superiors can look to you, you can get all sorts of opportunities to level up. This is going to give a huge deal of forward momentum coming into this Moon-Sun period. And this will get you prepared for the Mars Mahadasha, where everything is moving forward quickly and there is this forward progression. And so ultimately in this Moon-Sun period, you can feel this shift that is occurring that becomes all about becoming more independent, becoming more self-reliant, becoming more focused in on your goals and pursuits, and using this energy to push forward into this next phase of the Mars Mahadasha.